Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another exciting week of Español. This week we'll be exploring our penultimate chapter, Unidad 4, Lección 1, which does take place in España, in Spain. Very exciting. Our learning objectives for this chapter are that you should be able to identify vocabulary related to clothing, seasons, numbers, and colors. You should be able to ask or state an item's cost, create sentences stating what clothing one wants to buy and what clothing one wears in different seasons. You should also be able to demonstrate an understanding of tener expressions as well as stem changing verbs. And finally, we'll be learning how to shorten dialogue naturally using direct object pronouns like it and them. So, as we get started here, as always, I have a short little reading for you. We'll go through these together and sort of introduce our vocabulary. So, let's get started. Letter A tells us, Hola, me llamo Enrique. Voy de compras al centro comercial con mi amiga Maribel. Queremos comprar ropa nueva. A Maribel le gusta ir a todas las tiendas. So let's stop and think about what we're saying here. So, hola, me llamo Enrique. Hello, my name is Enrique. Voy de compras. I'm going shopping. Voy de compras. Al centro comercial, in the commercial center, or as you can see here on the right, el centro comercial refers to the mall. So I'm going shopping at the mall con mi amiga Maribel. Queremos comprar ropa nueva. Queremos. We want to comprar, to buy, ropa nueva. Now, ropa is not rope, unfortunately. Ropa refers to clothing. So we're going to the mall because we want to buy some ropa, some clothes, that is nueva. So new clothing, ropa nueva. It says, a Maribel le gusta ir a todas las tiendas. Maribel likes to go to all of the tiendas. And you can see here, a tienda is displayed. A tienda is a store. So Maribel likes to go to all the stores. Let's keep reading. In letter B, voy a comprar una camisa y unos jeans. Cuestan 30 euros. El vestido de Maribel cuesta 20 euros. Es un buen precio. So I'm going to buy una camisa, a shirt, y unos jeans, and some jeans. Cuestan 30 euros. Together, cuestan, they cost 30 euros, 30 euros. El vestido de Maribel cuesta 20 euros. So Maribel's dress only cost 20 euros, and es un buen precio. It's a good price. Now, be very careful here. Notice we didn't say Maribel's vestido. There was no apostrophe S in Spanish. We say the dress of Maribel, the jeans of Enrique, so on and so forth. So you see el vestido de Maribel here. And notice also the difference in cuesta, it cost, and cuestan, they cost. In this visual, you see all the different types of clothing. So we were just talking about los jeans and also la camisa, a shirt. So la camisa, shirt, los jeans, some jeans. Also over here on Enrique, you see he's wearing a chaqueta, a jacket, a chaqueta. And down here also, so calcetines. Calcetines are socks. Over here, if you look at Maribel, you can see that she's wearing a yellow blusa, as well as some pantalones, pants, and zapatos, shoes. Be careful there as you pronounce the word zapatos. The Z does make an S sound in Spanish, so we should say zapatos. Over here on the right, you can see a vestido hanging up, a dress. And if you zoom in a little bit there, you can also see el precio, the price of the dress, el precio. So, as we keep moving, remember one of your learning objectives of this chapter is also to identify colors. So you see all of your colors here displayed. Roja, verde, amarilla, anaranjada, marrones, azules, blancos, negros. All of these are displayed here. You'll notice some of them end in O, some end in OS, some end in A, some end in AS, and others end in just E or ES. Remember that everything in Spanish does have to agree in gender and in number. So, for example, as we're looking here at the orange shirt, you can see, or excuse me, orange t-shirt, you can see here that la camiseta is feminine and it's singular. We know it's feminine because it ends in an A. It's singular because there's no S. There's only one t-shirt here, la camiseta. When we go to refer to it being orange, we say la camiseta anaranjada with an A on the end because we're referring to one singular shirt, which must also be singular and feminine. If we had multiple shirts, las camisetas, they would be anaranjadas with an S on the end. So just be very careful there with your agreement. That will be important for this week's assignment. So let's look at what she says here in letter C. She says, me gusta llevar ropa blanca, roja y marrón. Me gusta llevar. I like to wear ropa, clothing, that is blanca, white. Notice blanca agrees with ropa again. So she likes to wear clothes that are white, roja, red, again with an A, agreeing with ropa, and marrón, brown. So white, red, and brown clothing. A Maribel le gusta llevar una camiseta verde y unos pantalones cortos azules. So Maribel likes to wear una camiseta, again, a t-shirt that is verde, green, like the verde sauce at Taco Bell. She also likes to wear unos pantalones cortos that are azules. So pantalones cortos are literally pants that have been cut, or we would say shorts. Cut pants, shorts. And she likes pantalones cortos that are azules, blue. So notice, azul, blue, ended in an L, ended in a consonant. So to make it plural, we have to add es to say multiple blue items. In this case, one pair of shorts, with the word shorts being plural, we have to make azul plural as well. So it becomes azules, azules. Let's take a look at letter D. You see here that Maribel piensa que el vestido es un poco feo. Y ella tiene razón, no es muy bonito. Ella compra otro vestido que le gusta más. So a little funny here, you see the verb pensar over here. You can see she has her finger up to her mouth and she has this perplexed look. She's thinking. The verb pensar is to think. So Maribel piensa que el vestido es un poco feo. She thinks que el vestido, that the dress, es un poco feo. It's just a little bit ugly, un poco feo. She's not a fan. And as we can see here, ella tiene razón. She is correct. Ella tiene razón. No es muy bonito. The dress is not very pretty. Instead, ella compra otro vestido. She buys another dress que le gusta más, that she likes more. Over here on the right, you can see some dinero, money, dinero, and these are euros, which are used all over Europe, Italy, Spain, etc. And up here you see the verb pagar. Pagar means to pay, so she's paying with dinero, with money, euros, pagar. Look at letter E. It tells us that in España hay 4 estaciones. Maribel siempre tiene calor durante el verano. Me gusta el invierno, pero siempre tengo frío. So in Spain, in España, remember where we are for this chapter, in España, hay 4 estaciones. There are 4 seasons. And you can see those estaciones down here. We have el verano, the summer. Wouldn't you like to be on the beach right now, el verano? Over here we have la primavera, the spring, la primavera. Down here, el otoño, fall. Look at all the pretty colores of the leaves. And el invierno, the winter. Look at the nieva there, the snow. Okay, so in Spain there are 4 seasons. Maribel siempre tiene calor durante el verano. Maribel always has heat. We're going to say she's hot durante el verano. And look over here at the picture. You see tener calor is to be hot. She's fanning herself. She's got a sombrero on. She's feeling a little hot. So Maribel siempre tiene calor durante el verano. She always is hot in the summer. And Enrique says that me gusta el invierno. I like the winter, pero siempre tengo frío. So I like winter, el invierno, but siempre tengo frío, but I'm always cold. And you can see over here, tener frío, to be cold. He's all bundled up. Look at him. He's got a gorro on. A gorro, in this case, refers to like a toboggan or a beanie. Okay. Last thing I want to draw your attention to just one last time is the difference in Questa and Questan. Both of these 2 verbs come from the overall infinitive costar, to cost. And in this case, costar has been conjugated from O to UE. It's a stem changing verb, which we'll talk about later. What I want you to know right at this moment is that we use Questa, singular with just an A, to say that it cost, Questa, and Questan with an A-N to say that they cost when you have multiple items. So The shirt, la camisa, cuesta $11. It costs $11. But los jeans, plural, cuestan $30. Okay, so be very careful there with those differences, okay? All right, I want to give you an activity to practice here. As you look at the photo, you see all of these different clothing items that are mentioned over on the left from numbers 1 through 7, and it has a price tag attached to them. So as we look at number 1, it gives us el vestido, the dress. If you find the dress in the picture, it's over here, and you can see it's 49 euros. So we want to say that the dress, it cost 49 euros. So in Spanish, we're going to say el vestido. To say it cost, remember we're using cuesta. So el vestido cuesta, it cost, and then 49, 49 euros. 49 euros. Let's do one more together. As you look at number 2, it tells us we're talking about los jeans, the jeans. You see them here on the table. They're 46 euros. So we're going to say the jeans. Instead of it cost, this time we're going to say they cost, cuestan. So los jeans cuestan, they cost 46 euros. 46 euros. I want you to take a moment, pause your audio, and please give numbers 3 through 7 a quick try. Let's see how you do here. When you're ready, you can unpause. Okay, so now that you've had a second to try these, let's take a look. Number 3 tells us los zapatos, which are shoes. If we look over on the right, you can see some nice dress shoes here. They're 74 euros. So we want to say the shoes, los zapatos, they cost, cuestan, and then 74, 74 euros. Los zapatos cuestan 74 euros. On number 4, you see we're referring to a chaqueta, a jacket. You can see the chaqueta is marrón over here on the table. It is 65 euros. So la chaqueta, it cost, cuesta, 65 euros. 65 euros. Number 5 refers to a camiseta, a t-shirt. And if you look at the t-shirt on the table, there are a couple of things here you could have said. I referred here, as I was thinking about this, to the yellow item on the table as a t-shirt. Some people used the item hanging up over here, so you can do whichever. I said that la camiseta cuesta 33 euros, if you're talking about this over here. If you're talking about the one on the table, we would say that la camiseta cuesta 17 euros. Either way, the key takeaway here, the camiseta, the t-shirt, it, to say it cost, we're going to say cuesta. So la camiseta cuesta. Check out number 6, referring to the shorts, los pantalones cortos. We see them lying on the table there. They are 22 euros. So los pantalones cortos cuestan. Notice the shorts, they cost, because shorts is a plural noun. So los pantalones cortos cuestan 22 euros. Okay, and finally, number 7, la blusa. La blusa, if you look for the blouse, again, depending on your point of view, you could have said that the item that was 33 euros over here was a blouse. You could have referred to this as a blouse, or the yellow item. So it just depends on which one you chose. The answer that I wrote here is la blusa cuesta 17 euros, referring to this item here on the table. If you were referring to the white shirt, you would have said la blusa cuesta 28 euros. And if you were referring to this item up here, la blusa cuesta 33 euros. So either one, the big takeaway here is we use cuesta for one item, it cost, and cuestan for multiple items, they cost. Okay, let's give you a little practice with your colores here, your colors. It's going to give you an item, again, a clothing item from your vocab, and you need to tell what color these items are. So for example, as you look at number 1, you can see we see a dress there. We know that a dress is a vestido. I want to say the dress is yellow. So if you look back at your vocabulary from before, you know that the word for yellow in Spanish is amarilla. However, we need to make amarilla agree with the dress, el vestido, which ends in an O, which is masculine singular. So we're going to take amarilla and make it agree. We would say el vestido es amarillo. Look at number 2. You see here a jacket. We know that the word for jacket in Spanish is la camiseta, or perdón, la chaqueta. I got ahead of myself there. La chaqueta. As we're looking at its colors, we can see that it is green and white. So we want to say that la chaqueta es verde, it's green. We don't have to do anything to change verde. It doesn't become verde or anything like that. La chaqueta es verde, and it's also white. Y blanca. Blanca. Notice that blanca with an A agrees, in this case, with chaqueta, which also ends in an A. Both are feminine singular. Okay, so just a brief little overview of colors there. We talked about this earlier just for a smidge, but you have tener expressions in Spanish, and you saw some of these in your reading. You have tener calor, to be hot, tener frío, to be cold, tener razón, to be correct or to be right, and tener suerte, to be lucky. Now, when you want to say it's hot, like it's hot in this room, we say hace calor, or it's cold, hace frío. But when you want to say that you in particular are hot or you in particular are cold, you're using a tener expression to say literally, I have hot or I have cold. So, tengo calor, tengo frío, etc. Okay, amigos. So now we're going to discuss a really, I don't want to say difficult, but something that requires a little bit of extra thought in Spanish. And this refers to what we call stem changing verbs. Now, there are 4 types of stem changing verbs in the Spanish language. Today, we're only going to be discussing E to IE stem changing verbs. Now, in our final chapter together, we'll discuss the other types, but here I just want to get you sort of accustomed to stem changers with E to IE verbs. These are somewhat irregular. Okay, so I want you to think back to your magical box of Spanish that we've discussed before. You have all of these subject pronouns, yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, and ellos, ellas, ustedes. So I, yo, tú, you, informal, él, he, ella, she, and usted, you, formal. Nosotros means we, vosotros, you all in Spain, ellos and ellas both mean they, and ustedes is you all everywhere other than Spain. So keeping this in mind, you already know how to conjugate basic AR verbs, right? You just chop off the AR and carry down the stem, which in this case would be EMPEZ. Just carry that down in all your boxes. And you start adding those normal AR endings. Oh, as, amos, ais, an. We did all of that before. You should remember that back from chapter 2 earlier in the class. However, we're taking that sort of to the next level here as we look at stem changing verbs. So this is what's known as an E to IE stem changing verb. So people always look at this and they go, but Mr. Harrison, there are 2 E's here. How do I know which E to change? Well, I'll give you a hint. If it comes at the very beginning of your word, it's the first letter. It's never going to be that one that changes. It's always somewhere in the middle. In this case, our only other E is the second E, empezar. This E is going to change to an IE. However, it only changes to an IE in all of the forms except for the nosotros and vosotros. So let's take a look here. As we conjugate, we removed our AR from empezar, we carried down the EMPEZ in all of our boxes, and then we changed that middle E to an IE in all of the boxes except for the nosotros and vosotros. Then we went through and we added o, as, a, amos, ais, and an, just like before. So you end up with your final answer of empiezo, empiezas, empieza, empezamos, empezáis, and empiezan. Now, these are not intended to be difficult. Something that I learned when I was a student of Spanish is we refer to these as boot verbs because the stem change only occurs inside of the boot. So, empiezo, empiezas, empieza, and empiezan. In all of these cases, your second E changed to an IE inside of the boot. However, up here in the nosotros and the vosotros forms, which are outside of the boot, there was no change. We just removed our AR and added our normal AR ending. Empezamos, empezáis. Let's look at another example together. Here you see the verb querer. Querer means to want. As we go to conjugate querer, we are going to chop off our ER. We're going to carry down the QUER in all of our boxes. Except with querer, your E is going to change to an IE. Again, people always say, well, Mr. Harrison, how do I know which E to change here? Well, your ER, as you conjugate an ER verb, you're going to be chopping off that whole ER and adding other endings. O, es, e, amos, es, en. So in this case, it has to be your first E that changes. So as you take a look here, you see quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, queréis, and quieren, where that first E changed to an IE in all of the forms except for the nosotros and vosotros. And again, if you remember why, they didn't change in the nosotros or the vosotros because those are not inside of the boot. So quiero, quieres, quiere, queremos, queréis, and quieren. I have a little video to help you remember the yo form of querer here and how it changes from E to IE. This was actually an old Taco Bell commercial many years ago. So let's take a moment and watch this video together.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
So notice he said, yo quiero Taco Bell. I want some Taco Bell. Yo quiero Taco Bell. So again, the yo form of querer should be quiero. Okay, I want you to try one of these on your own. This is the verb pensar, which means to think. It is an E to IE stem change, and there's only one E in this verb that could change. It's that second E there that's underlined. I want you to take a moment on your paper. Please give this a try. Write these out in your magical box of Spanish here and see how you do. When you're ready, you can unpause. Okay, so now that you've had a second to take a look at these, let's try this one together. You have the verb pensar. To conjugate pensar, we know that the E is going to change to an IE in all of your forms except for the nosotros and the vosotros. So in this case, we've removed our AR, we've changed our E to an IE in all of those boxes except for the nosotros and vosotros, and then we went back and we added our normal AR endings. O, as, a, amos, ais, an. So we have pienso, I think. Piensas, you think. Piensa, he or she thinks. Pensamos, we think. Pensáis, you all in Spain think. And piensan, they think. These are your various conjugations for E to IE stem changing verbs. So, again, I have an activity for you to try. This activity is titled Todos quieren ropa. Everybody wants some clothes. Todos quieren ropa. I told you that Enrique y Maribel miran un catálogo de ropa y describen la ropa que quieren ellos y otros. Usa las fotos para decir qué ropa quieren. So Enrique and Maribel are looking at a catalog and they're trying to decide the clothes that they and other people want. And you're supposed to tell what it is these people want. So in number one, you see Maribel here as our subject. And if you look at number one on the magazine, you can see here it is a red dress. So we're trying to make a sentence that says Maribel wants the red dress. So as we look here, we know that Maribel would be she. As we come over and find a querer word to say that she wants, we know that in this case, ella means she. So our bottom left box here, to say she wants, we're going to say Maribel quiere, she wants. A dress in this case would be el vestido. And then we know the dress is red, rojo. Again, notice rojo with an O must agree with vestido, also masculine singular. So this sort of puts together all the things we've been learning about today. So Maribel quiere el vestido rojo. She wants the red dress. In number two, you see the word tú, which means you. To say you want, we know we're using our middle left box here. Tú quieres, you want. And it's sort of hard to see. There's an outline here of a white shirt here. So we're trying to say that you want the white shirt. Tú quieres, and it looks like a t-shirt, la camiseta blanca. You want the white t-shirt, la camiseta blanca. Notice in this case, blanca, white, had to agree with camiseta because camiseta is feminine and singular. So tú quieres la camiseta blanca. Okay, I want you to take a moment on your own and please try numbers 3 through 8. 3 through 8. When you're ready, you can unpause. Okay, so let's take a look at these. Number 3 tells us that vosotros, you all in Spain, want, and it looks like a yellow shirt. So you all in Spain, vosotros querréis, from over here, our middle right box, vosotros querréis la camisa, or it could have been a blusa, depending on your preference there. I said camisa. Vosotros querréis la camisa amarilla. Again, notice in this case, amarilla, feminine singular, agrees with la camisa, feminine singular. Number 4, usted, you formal, want the black hat. So usted, bottom left box, quiere, the hat that is black, el sombrero negro. Literally the hat black, because our adjective comes after our noun in Spanish. So usted quiere el sombrero negro. You want the black hat. Number 5, yo, I, and to say I want, yo quiero, just like yo quiero Taco Bell. I want, yo quiero. We're looking at number 5, the jeans that are blue. So yo quiero los jeans azules. I also added here, since this chapter does take place in Spain, pretty much all other Spanish-speaking countries say los jeans. However, and that's obviously a borrowed word from English, specifically in Spain, though, they use the word vaqueros. Vaqueros, also for jeans. So los vaqueros azules, the jeans that are blue. Los vaqueros azules. Okay, number 6 talks about los amigos de Maribel, Maribel's friends. And as we're looking, you can see they want the green shorts. So los amigos de Maribel, Maribel's friends would be they. We know to say they want, we're using our bottom right box. Los amigos de Maribel quieren, they want. Los pantalones cortos, the shorts, that are verdes. And notice we took the word green, verde, and made it agree by adding an S on the end. So los amigos de Maribel quieren los pantalones cortos verdes. They want the green shorts. Number 7, mis amigas y yo, my friends and I. To say that we want, in this case, we're referring in number 7 to the brown shoes. So mis amigas y yo queremos, we want, the shoes, los zapatos, that are brown, marrones. Again, marrones had to have an ES on the end to agree with zapatos, which was plural. You also sometimes in some countries hear the word café for brown. So, Maribel y yo queremos los zapatos cafés. Either one would be acceptable there. And last one, number 8, we see ustedes. We're saying that you all want. Ustedes quieren, again, bottom right box, ustedes quieren. We're pointing to some socks that look to be orange and black. So, ustedes quieren los calcetines anaranjados y negros. And in this case, we have los calcetines, which are masculine plural. So both anaranjado and negro had to also be made plural by adding an S. Anaranjados y negros. Okay, the final thing that I'd like to speak to you about today is direct object pronouns. And these we use in English all the time. So, hey, I'm going to the store. I really want to get a new sweater. Oh, really? Did you buy? And then to replace the sweater, oh, did you buy it? Yes, I did. I bought it. Okay, so we're just shortening our speech. Instead of saying, I'm going to the mall to get a sweater, oh, did you buy the sweater? Yes, I bought the sweater. You're repeating the word sweater like 3 times when you could just say it. It's the same thing here in Spanish. So instead of saying Luisa is buying the blouse, we can say Luisa is buying it. In Spanish, the it word, your direct object pronoun, generally precedes your conjugated verb. It comes before your conjugated verb. So whenever we say Luisa compra la blusa, she buys the blouse, to say she buys it, instead of saying Luisa compra la, we say Luisa la compra. It's a little backwards. Literally, this says Luisa it buys. The it or the them, your direct object pronoun, comes before your conjugated verb in Spanish. As you look at these direct object pronouns, you see several that are listed here. You have me, which means to or for me, te, to or for you, nos, to or for us, and os, to or for you all in Spain. I would say those are used less frequently than any of the others. Here we have lo, la, los, and las, which are your most common direct object pronouns. Lo and la both mean it. Lo, in this case, is it masculine, and la is it feminine. Los means them in the masculine form, and las means them in the feminine form. So if you look at this example here, you see, quiero la camisa azul. I want the blue shirt. Quiero la camisa azul. To say I want it, la camisa azul, in this case, was feminine, and it was singular. So to say it, Feminine, we know we're going to use la, and it must precede our conjugated verb quiero. So la quiero, I want it. You cannot say quiero la. Okay, your la, your direct object pronoun must come in front of your conjugated verb. Another example, if you do not want to place your direct object pronoun in front of your conjugated verb, you also have the option of attaching it to the infinitive. And I'm going to show you both ways, and you can choose the one that you like the best. So it says here, quiero comprar zapatos negros. I want to buy black shoes. We want to shorten this to say I want to buy them. So we know that los zapatos negros, the black shoes, they're masculine because it ends in os, and they're plural. It has an s. So for masculine plural to say them, we have the option of choosing either los or las. We're going to choose los because it's the only one that's masculine. So to say I want to buy them, we can say y los quiero comprar. Them I want to buy. In this case, my los came before my conjugated verb quiero. So los quiero comprar. Them I want to buy. And that's a perfectly acceptable option. Los quiero comprar. A native speaker of Spanish is more likely to attach the los, the them, to an infinitive. Now remember, an infinitive is a verb that has not been conjugated. So all those verbs we started with earlier when you were writing in your box, like querer and entender and pensar, those verbs have not been conjugated yet. They end in AR, ER, or IR. Now, you can attach a direct object pronoun to one of those non-conjugated verbs. In this case, comprar has not been conjugated. It means to buy. We're not saying I buy, you buy, he buys. It's just plain old to buy in the infinitive form. It still ends in AR, ER, or IR. So in that case, we can attach the los, the direct object pronoun, to the end of comprar. And you end up with y quiero comprarlos. I want to buy them. All one word, comprarlos. Quiero comprarlos. So again, two options. You may attach your direct object pronoun to the infinitive, quiero comprarlos, or if you want to just keep it simple, put your direct object pronoun in front of your conjugated verb, which in this case is quiero, and say los quiero comprar. Both are totally acceptable. It's just a personal preference. I know these are a little challenging, so let's take a look at a few of these together. You see here a mensajero instantáneo, an instant message between a few people. It tells us that Maribel y su amiga hablan de la ropa que quieren comprar para la fiesta el sábado. So Maribel and her friend are talking about the clothes that they want to buy for a party on Saturday. And you're supposed to go through and complete the conversation with the correct direct object pronoun. So Pelirroja 16 says, quiero comprar un vestido azul, pero no tengo mucho dinero. Blank compro. So I want to buy un vestido azul. I want to buy a blue dress. Pero no tengo mucho dinero, but I don't have a lot of money. Blank compro. She's asking, should I buy? And we're trying to say it here with our it referring back to the blue dress. In this case, el vestido azul. So we know el vestido azul. In this case, since it ends in an O, it is masculine. We know there's only one dress there. So to say it, we have narrowed it down now to lo or la. The only masculine form in this case is lo. So we should say lo compro. Should I buy it? Lo compro? Busco rebaja. She says back, blank entiendo. Blank I understand. And your options are me or te. So I understand me or I understand you. So, man, I don't have a lot of money, but I really want to buy this. Should I get it? Hey, I feel you. I understand you, we're trying to say back. So it should be te entiendo. I understand you. As you keep going, number 3, she says, bueno, okay. ¿Cuánto cuesta el vestido? Okay, how much does the dress cost? And Pelirroja 16 says back, well, 29 euros, 29 euros. ¿Y tú? ¿Qué necesitas comprar? And you? What do you need to buy? Una blusa blanca? A white blouse? Busco rebaja says, ya blank tengo. I already have one. I already have it, referring back to what? In this case, una blusa blanca, the white blouse. So do you want to buy one? No, I already have it. Well, in this case, the white blouse, la blusa blanca, is feminine and singular. So to say it feminine, we know we're going to use la. So should I buy it? La, ya la tengo. I already have it. Ya la tengo. I'd like for you to take a moment And try numbers 4, 5, and 6. See how you do here with these direct object pronouns. When you're ready, you can unpause. All right, so now that you had a second to try these, let's take a look. We see, she says, I already have it, and then necesito unos zapatos. I need some shoes. Los zapatos negros son más elegantes. The black shoes are the most elegant. Blank, entiendes? So do you understand me or os? Do you understand me or do you understand you all? In this case, I need some shoes. I like the black shoes because they're the most elegant. You know, do you understand? Me entiendes in this case. Me. Do you understand me? Peliroja 16 says, sí, sí, tienes razón. You're right, tienes razón. Si quieres zapatos negros, blank venden en la tienda Betún. If you want some black shoes, they sell blank in the Betún store, la tienda Betún. So if you want some black shoes, they sell them. In this case, for them, you can narrow your options down to either los or las for them. In this case, we're talking about zapatos, shoes, which are masculine plural. So they sell them, los venden. Los venden, they sell them. En busca rebaja at the end, she says, vale, okay. También venden vestidos azules. They also sell blue dresses. Blank tienen por 20 euros. They have them for 20 euros. They have them, referring back to the vestidos azules. In this case, a plural masculine noun, so they have them. We should say los tienen por 20 euros. Okay, I have just one last activity I want to do with you here to make sure you understand these direct object pronouns. Remember, the purpose of using these is so that we can shorten dialogue naturally, so you don't have to keep saying the word sweater 10 times or shoes or whatever it might be. So as you look here at the example, we're talking about Enrique. This is called Lo que quiere Enrique, what Enrique wants. And it says that we should identifica lo que Enrique quiere y no quiere comprar. Identify what Enrique wants and does not want to buy. We're supposed to use pronouns, usa pronombres, to shorten. So the model tells us that no le gustan los zapatos anaranjados. He does not like the orange shoes. So if he does not like the orange shoes, we can assume he does not want to buy them, which is what your sentence is always going to say. He either wants to buy it or them, or he doesn't want to buy it or them. So in this case, he doesn't want to buy them. The them in this case refers to los zapatos anaranjados, the shoes that are orange. That is a noun that is plural and masculine. So we are going to use los as our option here. He doesn't want to buy them. No los quiere comprar. This is a perfect example of how the los could come in front of your conjugated verb. No los quiere comprar. Or it could be attached to your infinitive at the end of the sentence and saying, no quiere comprar los. Doesn't want to buy them. Let's look at a couple more together and make sure you know what you're doing here. Number 1 says that los pantalones son feos. The pants are ugly. Well, if they're ugly, I don't think he wants to buy them. So we're going to say exactly that. He doesn't want to buy them. So we have no quiere comprar, he doesn't want to buy. To say them when referring to the pants, which are masculine plural, we're going to use los. So again, you could say no quiere comprarlos, attaching it to the infinitive at the end, or no los quiere comprar. He, them, doesn't want to buy. Either one's perfectly acceptable. Check out number 2. It says no le gusta la camiseta. He does not like the t-shirt. Well, again, if he doesn't like it, he doesn't want to buy it. So the it, in this case, la camiseta, we're going to replace with la because it was feminine singular. So we're going to say no la quiere comprar. He doesn't want to buy it. Or no quiere comprarla. Again, the la attached to the infinitive at the end. I'd like for you to take a moment to please try numbers 3 through 8. See how you do here. We will check these together and see how you did. Go ahead and pause, and when you're ready, you can unpause. Okay, amigos, let's take a look here. Number 3 says, le gustan mucho las camisas. He likes the shirts a whole lot. So if he does like the shirts, he's going to buy them. So we can eliminate our no here and say he's going to buy them, the them referring back to the shirts, las camisas, which we know are feminine plural. So to say them, feminine, we're going to use las. So we should say las quiere comprar, he wants to buy them. Or if you chose to attach it, quiere comprar las. Number 4 tells us that Prefiere los calcetines verdes. He prefers the green socks. So if he prefers them, he's going to buy them. So in this case, them refers to the socks. Los calcetines verdes, which are masculine plural. So to say them masculine, we're going to use los. And we should say that los quiere comprar, he wants to buy them, or quiere comprarlos, with the los attached to the end. Let's look at one more. Number 5 tells us that el sombrero es horrible. The hat is terrible. Well, if it's horrible, he doesn't want to buy it. So we're going to say Enrique does not want to buy it, with the it referring to el sombrero, masculine singular. So for it, you have two options, lo and la. We're going to choose lo in this case to go with el sombrero. So we should say no lo quiere comprar. He doesn't want to buy it. Or no quiere comprarlo, with the lo attached to the end. Number 6 tells us that prefiere los zapatos azules. He prefers the blue shoes. If he prefers them, we know he's going to buy them. So we can say that Enrique quiere comprar, and to replace los zapatos azules, the blue shoes, los. So quiere comprarlos attached to the end, or if you chose to put it in front, los quiere comprar. Number 7, no necesita pantalones cortos. He does not need shorts. Well, if he doesn't need any shorts, we know he's not going to buy them, with the them in this case referring back to shorts. We know that los pantalones cortos are masculine and singular, masculine and plural, because there's an S, pantalones cortos. So to say them, you have two options, los or las. We should choose los in this case to refer to the pants that are short, the short pants, los. So either no los quiere comprar, them doesn't want to buy, or no quiere comprarlos, he doesn't want to buy them. Again, your los can be attached to the infinitive, or it can go in front of your conjugated verb, whichever you prefer. And finally, number 8, prefiere la chaqueta blanca. He prefers the white jacket. So we want to say he prefers it, he wants to buy it. So in this case, we're going to say quiere comprar, and then you have to choose either lo or la for it. We should choose la, since la chaqueta blanca was feminine singular. So quiere comprarla, he wants to buy it, or la quiere comprar, it he wants to buy. Either way there. Guys, we've come full circle. You've been able to identify vocabulary about clothing, seasons, numbers, and colors, creating sentences about what clothing one wears in different seasons, what clothing one wants to buy. You've been able to state an item's cost, demonstrate understanding of tenet expressions in Spanish, create sentences using these stem-changing verbs, and shorten dialogue naturally using direct object pronouns. Keep up the good work, everyone. If you'll have any questions about anything at any time, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always just a short email or phone call away. And I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Take care.